In the headlines, concerns over looming flood in some states as Cameroonian authorities release water from Lagdo Dam. Fire destroys 20 shops in Gobio Central Market, Maiduguri. Police arrest over 100 gay suspects in Delta. And from the international scene, 39 women and children killed in Sudan crisis. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us in our details. Fears of people living in flood-prone areas have been allayed by the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency, saying that the impact of the released water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon will not be as destructive as many think. Director General of the agency, Clement Nze, said this while featuring on Trust TV program Daybreak on Tuesday. Take a look.
2023 NIMET forecasts have warned of massive variation in the onset of rainfall in the most parts of the country. It predicted that the coastal zone of the south-south states of Bayelsa, Rivers and Akwa Ibom will observe unpleasant rainfall changes that may lead to flood. Release of water from Lagdo Dam puts about 11 states at risk of flooding. Clement Nze further said the Cameroonian authorities opened the Lagdo Dam a week before informing Nigeria, a situation he described as unfortunate. The Director General, however, assured Nigerians that the open dam will not cause destruction in the country.
There is no cause for alarm. Actually, there are several channels of communication between countries. And following the 2012 flood incident in Nigeria, which was attributed to Cameroon opening their dam, the two countries began to discuss. It eventually materialized in signing an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, on the 3rd of May 2016, where President Paul Biya was in Nigeria to sign that MOU. But the MOU was short of maybe what some of us will expect, where Cameroon will commit themselves to notify Nigeria ahead of time before they release water. But that MOU has no such content.
He explained that the dam, which was opened on the 14th of this month, will not affect many, urging people not to panic.
I've been following the work of the DG. He's been very vocal, trying to get communities and governments to do what is right so that we prevent these losses that we incur every year during the flooding season. He's someone who is really trying on this. The fact that his commission was told only 7 days after, he had to make a phone call actually to confirm it. It's indicative of the sort of problems we've been having with the Lagdo Dam over the years. Some of the problems are from our side, some of the problems are from Cameroon.
People living in flood-prone areas in the 11 states have been advised to relocate to safer places.
Meanwhile, the Edo State government has called on residents in the lowland and riverine areas in the state to be vigilant and relocate to higher plains as a result of likely flooding with the release of modulated amounts of water into River Niger from Lagdo Dam by Cameroonian authorities. The communities include Agene-Bode in Etsako East Local Government Area, in Negbete in Etsako Central Local Government Area, and Ilushi in Esan Southeast Local Government Area, as well as other riverine areas in Ikoba Oka Local Government Area, Ovia Northeast Local Government Area, and Ovia Southwest Local Government Area. In a statement in Benin on Monday, the Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nehihari, said the move was precautionary to avoid flooding. Nehihari assured that the state government will provide support to those displaced from their homes by the rising water level occasioned by the overflow of the River Benue. He said efforts have been made to ensure that internally displaced persons, the IDP camps in the state, are in a good state and residents adequately briefed and sensitized. Now, earlier we had Trust TV reporter from Benue who gave us an update, and he had this to say. Take a look.
Hands are tight because the governor emphatically said that people who live in this area should vacate. But then the question that people ask is, where do we vacate? For this our ancestral homes, times are hard, we don't even know anywhere to go. Some of us were born here, our fathers were born here, no any other place. So they're just waiting for their fate. You know, Benue State is actually a state that is already suffering from humanitarian crisis as a result of, the header farmers crisis, that has been here for over so many years. And so the government, at the moment, said its hands also are tight. So what we heard them say for now is that people should relocate to safer lands. And that's the idea that the journalists on ground here have been pushing, all along, because we keep asking on daily basis, what are you doing? And like it happened, even last year, it was the same in 2022, we're there beforehand to even intimate them. But this is, create some kind of awareness, which is one of the duties of, journalists. And so they were like, no, we have nowhere to go. And some of them would sleep and then wake up with their legs in water, or the whole of their property engulfed with water. So I can't see any, for now, I can't see any proactive step. Well, one would hope is hoping that maybe the governor will make a statement towards that line. He went to Kigali for a conference, came back only yesterday. As we talk, he's in the process of swearing the new commissioners. I see the list so far, one for humanitarian disaster management has been named. So maybe that would be, his first assignment. The other question we put to them is that, are we aware that this is a situation as it is? They say yes. The government has actually informed them through the media, through the local media here, the radio, and of course the TV here. And I think almost everyone is aware of what is coming. Just as some of them will say that, no, it can't happen. No, because what we've experienced here over the years is that this can happen once in 10 years. So that's why I say some of them are just living to see what their fate will bring out of the whole situation.
A fire outbreak has occurred at Gubio Central Market in Maiduguri, Borno State. The incident happened late Monday night, and the cause of the fire was not immediately ascertained. However, an unverified video on social media claimed that more than 20 shops were destroyed by the fire. Gubio, 84 kilometers from Maiduguri, the state capital, is one of the 27 local government areas in the state. The Delta State Police Command on Tuesday announced that it had arrested over 100 suspected homosexuals carrying out a wedding ceremony in a hotel in Delta State. In a post on its official X, formerly Twitter handle, the state police said it will parade the suspects shortly. Since signing the anti-gay law in 2014, people believed to be homosexuals have been arrested and paraded by security operatives. The anti-gay law stipulates a 14-year prison term for anyone convicted of having sex with members of the same sex. The Gombe State Governor, Muhammad Yahya, has directed the immediate closure of local nightclubs, popularly referred to as gala houses within the state. The secretary to the state government, Ibrahim Ndodi, who announced the directive on Monday, said the measures followed a series of complaints from the public. According to the SSG, the enforcement of its closure will reduce incendiary, immoral and criminal activities, as well as security breaches being perpetrated in such nightclubs. The governor has consequently ordered the Nigerian Police, Civil Defense Corps and the Operation Hatara to mobilize their personnel to effect the directive and ensure strict compliance. Kano State government has dragged the federal government before a Kano High Court over what it described as harassment and intimidation of the State Anti-Corruption Commission, the PCACC, by 3 federal agencies. This followed an invitation sent to the Anti-Graft Commission and its officials by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, and Code of Conduct Bureau to answer questions over the administration of the commission from 2011 to date. The court, presided by Justice Farouk Adamu, granted an expert order directing the federal agencies and their agents to stop questioning or investigating officials of the Kano Anti-Graft Commission. The court also ordered the agencies to stop meddling into the matters of the commission. The other further advised all the parties involved in the case to maintain status quo. A Bauchi-based medical practitioner, Mohammed Bashir, says Nigeria must develop and produce its own vaccines to achieve the universal health coverage. Dr. Mohammed speaks on how childhood immunization can be more effective throughout the country. Adamu Imam files in the report.
National Immunization Coverage Survey 2021 shows that Nigeria risks losing children under 5 to preventable diseases because of the lower percentage of immunization coverage despite government efforts at all levels. Commenting on the report, Dr. Bashir Mohammed, working at Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, emphasized that Nigerian health authorities should adopt a new strategy on healthcare delivery, including immunization against killer diseases.
If you can produce in your country, first you create a lot of jobs for your people, you create industries which will employ people, so job security will be there, and then you also export and make money out of that. That's aside the fact that you will naturally have them whenever you need them.
The survey also pointed out that the early childhood mortality per 1,000 live births is still discouraging. The medical practitioner recommends that parents must ensure a routine immunization for every child to achieve high percentage of coverage.
You don't need to have explanation, detailed explanation of why A is equals to B or A leads to B. No, it's just faith that people have that this is it, and so they don't want it. And that is why we need to rally around and educate people effectively, right? Such that we have our traditional and religious leaders to actually get to buy in and see what we're talking about, believe in it, and then they can carry it around, because most people have, believe in them more than they believe in the government.
He pointed out that religious and cultural beliefs remain impediments to immunization, but with constant and effective communication, things will change for the better. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Kano State government has announced a 50% slash of registration fees for indigenous students across the state-owned tertiary institutions. Commissioner for Higher Education, Dr. Yusuf Ibrahim Kofar Mata, in a statement, said the intervention became pertinent to cushion the worsening economic condition in the country. According to the commissioner, Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf took the decision with the consent of the heads of tertiary institutions to ameliorate the pain of the students. The government noted that the decision will further reduce the effect of this current economic adversity on passionate students and their ardent parents. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at how poor conditions of road is affecting the lives of residents in Sabon Tasha community. There's and more after the break. Stay with us. back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of our top stories. We brought you concerns over looming flood in some states as Cameroonian authorities release water from Lagdo Dam. And fire destroyed 20 shops in Gobio Central Market, Maiduguri. Now moving on to more stories, the Kebbi Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has said that the recent killing of 2 of its personnel along Bunza Koko Road while on lawful duty will not dampen the spirit of its officers and men. Area Controller Ben Oramalugo said this at the command's headquarters in Birnin Kebbi during a press briefing to commiserate the death of the 2 men and to hand over additional consignments of some seized drugs to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA. Umar Afanda Muhammad files in the report.
It was truly an emotional gathering, a celebration with mixed feelings, combining commiseration for the loss of 2 men and celebrating perennial success in tackling activities of drug barons that have been persistently frustrated from entering into Nigeria's territories through the Kebbi Command borders. On Thursday, 24th of August, Customs Inspector Kabir Shehu and Abdullahi Mohammed, a customs assistant, paid a supreme sacrifice with their lives while on a stop-and-search operation along Bunzat Akingari Koko Road, when suspected bandits opened fire on them. The controller in charge of the command, Dr. Ben Oramalugo, who has vehemently blocked all attempts to smuggle in hard drugs into the country, said despite the fact that the killers were yet to be determined as either bandits or drug barons on vendetta mission, yet his men would not be frustrated.
We directed our officers to intensify surveillance in all nooks and crannies of the states, having had credible intelligence on their impending activities.
Shortly after observing a minute's silence and prayer, then came a gallop of signing and handing over of seized contrabands, 371 parcels of Indian hemp intercepted at Kawar waterside in Suru local government, and 98 packs of diazepam, all handed over to NDLEA. In yet another development, 1,080 pieces of donkey skin had also been handed to the Department of Quarantine Services in Kebbi. Other items seized by the customs include 10 sacks of snuff, 37 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 300 liters of petrol, 16 bales of second-hand clothing, and a Toyota Corolla used for conveyance of the seized contraband with duty value of over 164 million. Pressmen were conducted round to the seized contrabands, after which the 2 heads of agencies, NDLEA and Quarantine Services, appreciated the custom for a job well done. From Kebbi State, Umar Afanda, Trust Television News.
Residents of Sabon Tasha in Chukun local government area of Kaduna State say the poor condition of the road is affecting the lives of residents in the area. The residents say the conveying children to school and women to hospital, as well as daily runs for business activities, have become difficult for the people of the area. Trust TV's Bello Musa has more.
College Road links several communities within and outside Sabon Tasha ward, but its lack of accessibility makes life miserable for residents of this community, especially during rainy season.
When there is rain, accident, just even here, someone fell this morning. It's as if we don't exist. Let me be blunt to you. It's as if we don't exist.
Bad. Very, very, very bad. I've been in this environment for almost 10 years now. Yes, it's very bad. When I mean bad, it's very bad. During the rainy season is a concern.
Sometimes because of angry, we do say that, do we have government? Because of angry, because we know the stress we are passing through on this road.
Good and accessible roads boost businesses and make commercial activities easy for the traders. But in the case of College Road, Residents say the poor condition of the road has negatively affected their businesses.
It affects our business because you cannot transport yourself. You cannot go freely on the road because of the rain. Because if you are moving, maybe by the pothole you see a water, you fall inside.
Most of our customers cannot have access to us because of the bad roads, which is not accessible, especially during the rainy season, which is affecting our sales. Most times we sleep in the shop because no customers.
We traders are finding it difficult to go to the market due to the condition of the road. Added to this is the fact that commercial vehicles don't want to convey us from the market. We are appealing to the government to come to our aid by fixing the road.
The councillor of Sabon Tasha Ward, Dauda Makama, while urging residents to be calm, said the local government has repaired the road to some extent, noting, however, that the present condition of the road is beyond the capacity of Chukwu local government. He appealed to the state government to intervene.
The last time we came to the seats, the Honorable Chairman was opportune, Engineer Selassie was opportune to do some maintenance of the road here. Well, you know, the local government have their limits, and I am very, very sure you see what really happened at the road. The road is still bad. And we're calling on the government to intervene because a lot of people are going out every day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. During rainy season, they are not finding it easy. And even the bikes people, the Okada, and even people that have their various vehicles here are not getting it easy. So, if possible, if the government can assist, because the local government have do their best, we need the state to come in and help the community.
The former chairman of Chukwu local government who oversaw the repair of the road project was suspended by the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai. The residents are now calling on the new administration of Senator Obasani to help build the road to give them easy access to other parts of the metropolis. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has said the administration will reintroduce monthly sanitation as part of strategies to keep the city clean. Wike stated this in Abuja on Monday after a closed-door meeting with contractors holding different projects in the territory. He said that he had already briefed President Bola Tinubu on the idea that at least 2 Saturdays in a month would be declared for sanitation from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. He explained that the move will enable companies supporting the FCT with logistics to go to the market and other public places to evacuate refuse. And now in the international scene, 39 civilians were killed, most of them women and children, when shelling hit their homes on Tuesday in Sudan's vast western region of Darfur, medics and witnesses have said. According to sources, the attack took place in Nyala, the capital of Darfur South State, where 50,000 people have been forced to flee since August 11th, the UN has said. The war between Sudan's army, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the Rapid Support Forces under the control of General Mohamed Dagalo, has raged on since April 15th. The conflict, which started in the capital, Khartoum, has spread to the western region of Darfur, Kordofan, and Jazeera State, killing thousands and forcing millions to flee their homes. At least 183 people have been killed since July in clashes in Ethiopia Amhara region, the United Nations said on Tuesday, as it appealed for the killings, violence and rights abuses to end. Tension in the northern region ratcheted up this year after the end of a devastating war in the neighboring region of Tigray that also drew the fighters from Amhara. In April, the federal government announced it was dismantling regional forces across the country. Now, the move triggered protest by Amhara nationalists who said it would weaken their region. Clashes erupted in early July between the National Army and the local fighters known as Fano, prompting the authorities in Addis Ababa on August 4th to declare a 6-month state of emergency. The status gives the authorities broad powers to arrest suspects without a court order, impose curfew and ban public gatherings, Hurtado said. And in sports, the Super Eagles camp for the 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe will open in Uyo on Monday, September 4th. The game is billed for the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Sunday, September 9th. Head coach Jose Pesero is expected to release his list for the game this week. The Super Eagles have already booked a spot at the 2023 AFCON finals from Group A. Sao Tome and Principe, which occupies the bottom spot in the group, have no chance of qualifying for the tournament. The West Africans have recorded 1 draw and 4 defeats from 5 games. Now, Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau will clash in the other group game. Côte d'Ivoire will host the 2023 AFCON from January 13th to February 11th. And lastly, with a few weeks to the start of the new NPFL season, Gombe United Football Club has appointed coach Mohamed Baba Ganaru as their new head coach. Before his appointment, the experienced manager was at Lobby Star last season, where he took them to the NPFL Super 6 playoffs in Lagos. Mohamed Baba Ganaru is a seasoned football administrator who served with many different clubs, including Kano Pillars, Wiki Tourist, El Kanemi Warriors, Desert Stars, and Nasarawa United. The NPFL winning manager replaces Aliyu Zubair, who left the position following the expiration of his contract. The new manager is expected to bring his wealth of experience to lead Gombe United when the new season starts. Gombe United finished 7th in the NPFL last season. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms, and you can join our YouTube live stream for more programs, news, and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.